All right, Ira. One of the first things you learn in any language, especially English, is how to say hello. But it's not just hello, is it? There's a whole spectrum of greetings out there that people actually use in daily life, and understanding them can make a huge difference.
Absolutely, Ayaan. It's so true. It's not just about knowing the words, but knowing the context. When to use good morning versus what's up can feel like a minefield for learners. That's why I think practicing these different styles is so crucial. It really helps you grasp the nuances.
Exactly. Let's dive right in with what we call the very polite, formal greeting. So, if I were to say, "Good morning, Ira, it's a pleasure to meet you." That's about as formal as it gets, right?
It really is. And my response would naturally be, "Good morning, Ayaan. The pleasure is mine." You hear how that echoes the formality? It's almost like a dance, a very polite one. This style isn't something you'd throw around every day, is it?
No, definitely not. This style screams first impressions or high-stakes situations. Think about meeting a potential client for the very first time, or a job interview, maybe even being introduced to a dignitary or someone in a position of significant authority. It's about showing ultimate respect, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It sets a serious, respectful tone. You wouldn't want to walk into a job interview and say, "Hey, what's up?" That would be a complete misstep. Using this very formal style signals that you understand the gravity of the situation and respect the other person's position or the occasion itself. It's about presentation, really.
Right. And it's not just the words, it's also the nonverbal cues. A firm handshake, direct eye contact, good posture. They all contribute to that very polite, formal impression. It's an entire package. Sometimes I hear learners trying to use this with their friends, and it just sounds, well, a bit stiff, doesn't it?
It can be really awkward, like, "Good afternoon, dearest friend, how fare thee?" Your friends would probably just stare at you, confused, so context is everything. But moving on from the highly formal, let's talk about something a bit more common in professional life, the polite and professional greeting.
Okay, so this one is still polite, but definitely more relaxed than the pleasure to meet you style. An example would be, "Hello, Ira, how are you today?" It's friendly, but still maintains that professional distance.
Exactly, and I'd respond with, "Hello, Ayaan, I'm doing well, thank you, how about you?" See, it's a step down in formality, but it's still appropriate for most workplaces. You're showing politeness without being overly stiff. This is my go-to for colleagues, clients I've met a few times, or even during a business call.
Definitely. It strikes a perfect balance, doesn't it? You're not trying to be their best friend, but you're also not treating them like they're royalty. It's just good professional etiquette. It's what you'd use at a networking event, or when meeting a new team member. It builds rapport without over-familiarity. Like, "Hello, Sarah, how was your weekend?" Instead of, "Good morning, it is truly an honor to begin this project with you, Sarah."
Right. It's polite, it's professional, it's approachable. It's the bread and butter of daily work interactions for many people. It opens the door for a brief, pleasant exchange without committing you to a deep conversation. I think this is where many English learners should aim initially when they're unsure about the level of formality required.
That's a great point. It's a safe bet. Which actually leads us perfectly to our next category, the neutral and safe greeting. This one is probably the most versatile, wouldn't you say? Like, "Hi, Ira, how are you?"
Oh, absolutely. My response would be, "Hi, Ayaan, I'm good. How are you?" This is the Swiss Army knife of greetings. You can use it almost anywhere, in a shop, with a new neighbor, at the gym, with a casual acquaintance, even with colleagues you know reasonably well. It's polite enough for strangers, but not so formal that it feels weird with people you know.
It really is. It works in pretty much every situation where you don't need to be extremely formal or extremely casual. It's the when in doubt, go with this option. You can't really go wrong with, "Hi, how are you?" It's universally understood and accepted, and the expected answer is usually something brief like, "I'm good," or "I'm fine." You don't typically launch into your life story.
Exactly. It's not an invitation for a therapy session unless you're actually close with the person. It's just a common courtesy. And for learners, mastering this one is key because it makes you feel confident that you won't offend anyone. It's safe, flexible, and gets the job done. It's almost like a default setting.
Yeah, it totally is. Now let's inject a bit more personality. We're moving into the friendly and casual greeting. This is where things start to get more relaxed, right? So, hey Ira, good to see you.
Oh, I love this one. My response would be, hey Ayaan, nice to see you too. This is the kind of greeting you use when you genuinely feel comfortable with someone. These are your friends, your family, long-term colleagues you've built a good relationship with, or even classmates you see regularly.
It sounds so much more relaxed and natural, doesn't it? It implies a certain level of familiarity and warmth. You wouldn't use this if you were meeting your partner's parents for the first time, for example. That would be a huge faux pas. But with someone you already know well, it strengthens that bond.
Exactly. It's for established relationships where you've moved past the initial politeness and into genuine connection. It feels good to hear and to say. It's the kind of greeting that often comes with a smile or maybe even a hug, depending on the relationship. It's all about comfort and friendliness, which is a big part of social interaction.
Right. It shows you're happy to see them, but then we take it even further down the casual road with the very casual greeting. This is like the ultimate laid-back option, isn't it? Hi Ira, what's up?
Oh yeah, this is for your closest buddies. I'd say, hi Ayaan, not much, how about you? This is definitely not for your boss, unless you have an extremely cool and informal boss. This is for friends you've known for ages, people your own age group, or in very informal social settings like a backyard barbecue or a casual hangout.
Definitely. And the what's up can sometimes be shortened to just sup, which is even more casual, almost bordering on slang. It's very common among younger generations. But yeah, you're right. Using this in a formal setting, or with someone much older, or someone you don't know well, could be perceived as quite rude or disrespectful. It's really about knowing your audience.
Totally, and the typical answer, not much, or nothing much, signifies that there isn't anything particularly exciting happening, and often doesn't require a detailed answer. It's more of an acknowledgement than a genuine question about your day. It's ultra-informal, quick, and usually accompanied by a relaxed posture, maybe a nod. It implies a very deep level of comfort.
Yeah, it's like, I'm acknowledging your existence in a very chill way. So next up is the friendly greeting with energy. This one is a bit more spirited, isn't it? Hey, how's it going, Ira?
Yes, it's got a definite spark to it. My reply would be, hey, it's going well, how about you? This is what you say when you're genuinely excited to see someone, or when you want to bring a positive, lively vibe to the interaction. Think social gatherings, parties, or running into someone you haven't seen in a little while.
That's so true. It's not just friendly, it's energetic friendly. It sets a really positive tone for the conversation. You're showing enthusiasm, and that can be contagious. Imagine walking into a room and saying this versus a flat, hi. The whole atmosphere changes. It's fantastic for catching up with friends you haven't seen in a bit, or someone you're genuinely pleased to encounter.
Definitely. It's dynamic, it's engaging, and it often leads to a more lively conversation. It's like saying, I'm happy to see you and I'm ready to chat. It's a great choice when you want to make someone feel good about seeing you. It feels authentic and warm without being overly personal or overly formal. I use this one a lot with my close friends when we meet up for coffee or something.
I can see that. It's got that nice bounce to it. Alright, now let's go for something that balances politeness with a personal touch. The polite greeting with warmth. So, hello Ira, nice to see you again.
Ah yes, and I'd say, hello Ayaan, nice to see you too. This is perfect for situations where you've met someone before, but perhaps you're not super close friends. Maybe it's a colleague you don't work with daily, or someone you meet at a regular community event, or even a service provider you interact with often, like your barber or a favorite barista.
Exactly. It acknowledges a previous interaction, which shows you remember them, and that's always a nice touch. It's polite, but it also carries a genuine warmth that makes the other person feel valued. It's a great way to build a slightly deeper, yet still professional or respectful relationship over time. It says, I recognize you, and I appreciate our connection.
Yes, it's that perfect balance. It's not as formal as it's a pleasure to meet you, but it's definitely more intentional than just a hi. It shows you're paying attention and that the interaction isn't just a transactional one. It's super useful for those semi-regular encounters that pepper our daily lives. I mean, think about when you see an old classmate at a conference. This would be perfect.
Totally. It creates a connection without being intrusive. Now for our final greeting style, which is the shortest and arguably the most informal, the quick casual greeting. Just, hey.
And my response is also, hey, that's it. This is for when you're passing a really close friend in the hallway, or you see someone across a crowded room and you just want to acknowledge them quickly without stopping for a full conversation. It's often accompanied by a nod or a brief wave.
Yeah, it's purely an acknowledgement. It says, I see you, but we don't have time for a chat right now, or we're just too busy. It's common with roommates, family members you live with, or friends you see every single day. You don't need a whole sentence. The single word carries all the necessary information because of your established relationship.
Exactly. It's short, it's informal, and it's only really suitable when people know each other extremely well. If you did this with your CEO, they'd probably be very confused, if not offended. So again, context, context, context. It's all about the relationship and the situation.
Man, it's wild how much thought actually goes into something as simple as saying hello, isn't it? So to summarize all this, it really boils down to greetings changing dramatically depending on the situation you're in.
It truly does, Ayaan. The place where you are, the people you're talking to, and your relationship with them, all these factors matter enormously. It's like a secret code you learn to crack as you become more fluent in a language, especially English.
Formal greetings, for instance, are all about showing respect and maintaining a professional distance. They're about making that strong, appropriate first impression or acknowledging hierarchy.
And on the flip side, friendly greetings are really about showing connection, warmth, and building rapport. They solidify existing relationships and make interactions feel more personal and enjoyable.
Then you have those neutral greetings, which are truly your safe harbor. They work in most situations, reducing any anxiety about saying the wrong thing. They're your default option when you're unsure.
And casual greetings? Those are reserved for your inner circle, your closest friends and family. They signal deep comfort and familiarity, where words are almost secondary to the established bond. Using them with the wrong person can definitely raise an eyebrow.
Exactly. So practicing all these different styles, understanding their nuances, and just observing how native speakers use them, it genuinely makes navigating English conversations so much easier and more natural. It's not just about grammar, it's about social fluency.
You've hit the nail on the head, Ayaan. It's about confidence and authenticity. So to all our listeners, don't be afraid to experiment. Choose the style that fits the moment, then speak naturally. The more you practice and pay attention, the more automatic it will become. It's a huge step towards truly sounding like a native speaker. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.